Hello everyone and welcome to the first episode of our slow and immersive playthrough of Frostpunk 2. The game just came out yesterday and I've had a little bit of time with it. I think it runs well, looks beautiful, I like the mechanics. I played through the first couple of missions just to get the hang of the game and the hang of the new mechanic. And I thought this would make for a nice playthrough on a tough difficulty. And so let's go ahead and jump into it. And we're playing the story mode. As you can see, I just made it to chapter 2. I haven't really started it. But we're going to go ahead and start with a new story. And we're going to start with the prologue of the Wanderers. In 1887, the world froze to death. Civilization crumbled. The failing British Empire built generators to support cities of evacuees. Cities that would become the last on Earth. Whether huddled by a generator or out in the open frostland, those that survived were shaped by their ordeal. 30 years later, all became very different people. Now, the difficulty, I tried my start on Officer, and I thought it was actually pretty straightforward in the first even 2 missions. I feel like I had an abundance of everything, so I'm gonna kick it up to Steward. I think Captain might be a little bit too tough, given, obviously the mechanics will become more and more complex with time. But yeah, let's leave it on Steward. I think that should give us, get some nice balance for us. So this is a demanding challenge with little room for error, requiring meticulous planning and ability to manage concurrent crises. Now, we can only customize the game's difficulty when starting the game. Survive against all odds. There is no active pause, and your progress will be saved on exit only. I mean, I do want to turn this on. However, I also want to take time to read the tooltips and think about things on this first playthrough. And I am also a little bit cognizant of potential for crashes. And so maybe we'll keep it safe, but we'll try to play through one mission at a time. And, treat all of our decisions as though we're playing in survivor mode for sure. So let's go ahead and start. So 30 years later, we should be in 1917.
Steward?
Honorable Steward.
There you go. Press any key to begin. Let's go.
Can you hear us? Captain!
Do you hear us?
A generation ago, we fled the crumbling British Empire as the world froze around us. I held New London together. United, we survived 30 years of whiteouts. But the world around us is dead. Empty.
Ripe for taking. The city
Festus.
Merely surviving is not enough. We have to expand. After all, it's us who survived the end of the world.
Yes.
There we go, guys. Yeah. The game is very immersive, I think. Very atmospheric, but at the same time, very challenging. I think it's a good interplay of mechanic. Quite unique as well, I think, in terms of being a city builder, in terms of how the societal interactions take place, and even the UI. I think they've done a great job. You know, again, this is sort of the pre-release, 3-day early release with the deluxe edition, but the game runs really well. I haven't encountered any problems in about 2 or 3 hours of playing the game. Now, the Wanderers Prologue. We've been roaming the frozen desert for years. Many of us do not remember a world before the Great Frost. Now another whiteout is coming, and again we've reached the old machine. Again we will rely on its furnace to provide heat through the storm. In the past, we always made sure there were enough supplies for the next whiteout, but our numbers have grown through the years. Providing for everyone is getting harder and harder. We must survive. Okay, so we seem to come across an old machine. Indeed, we must survive. Prologue, the Wanderers. Okay, fight the cold. The old dreadnought remains in pieces under layers of snow, but the scattered wagons still have resources inside. First, we must break ice to reach one of the oil wagons to construct an extraction district to use it. Then we can turn on the dreadnought's furnace to heat us. We will restart the furnace. Okay. Let's go ahead and pause for a little. So whiteout start is arriving in 88 weeks. Once the whiteout hits, we will get locked in and will no longer be able to gather food. We must be ready by then or we will not survive. We have 88 weeks to gather enough food. Now, I'm not sure if the tutorial messages will keep popping up, but I have gone through them, and so I think it's easier, more efficient if I just explain what we're doing. So let's go ahead and look at the Frostbreak. Frostbreak effectively takes up some workforce. We have a population of 3,000. You know, about 65% of that population is able-bodied men and women, right? With about 35% being dependents. I guess children, elderly, and incapacitated, maybe. Actually, children and elderly. We also have some temporarily incapacitated, I think, number. So these are people who will get sick or injured. And we're going to need 300 workforce to carry out this frost breaking exercise, where teams of workers with heavy equipment breaking ice and preparing ground so that the camp can be expanded. So let's go ahead and... Oh, sorry, we don't actually select it. We simply click on the screen, and then we can start selecting which hexes, and we can get 8 at a time. Which hexes we want to ice break so that we can reach the oil. So I would suggest we get this oil, and we can just kind of keep going. Let's say if we wanted both of these oils, and we can even kind of maybe make a step towards these prefab, this construction wagon that has some prefab materials left over. And we do have 200 scraps and 750 prefabs. Prefabs are used to build buildings. Let's go ahead and within an extraction district, but we also need housing. So we need shelter. Right, we have 10 from somewhere. But let's go ahead and say, okay, it says district construction. And these are the tutorials I was talking about. Okay, it does seem like it resets on a new story. But effectively, districts have a fixed number of tiles needed to begin construction. When building a district, keep a lookout for the indicator circle. Yeah, so we basically select a certain number. I think it's 8 for the housing, 6 for the extraction. Right, you need obviously cover an extraction point for the extraction district to work. And there are benefits to building certain districts next to each other, and boons as well. So for example, there's pollution that can spread from industrial districts to residential, but at the same time, the more you huddle districts together, the more heat they sort of save. And yeah, they don't really provide heat to each other, but they make each other save heat from staying together. So this housing district output is 15 shelter, and we need 39. We need 100 workforce to work it and just maintain it. But to build it, we need 100 workforce, 140 prefab, 60 scrap. And it demands 40 heat. Now, there we go. Let's build one housing district, or at least get started on it. So you see this tile, we will benefit if we can put 3 of our district tiles next to another district that has some sort of benefit. Like for example, this generator, we will get 20 heat sort of from that. That means it will effectively reduce. We'll have a look when we actually build it. So I think in this tutorial, it seems like, no, actually, sorry, this is not in the tutorial. So frost breaking is 8 tiles, but a housing district is 6 tiles, just like any other of these. So let's go ahead and, yeah, take up this space with a housing district, get started on that. But did we actually, hang on, we never actually got started with this, did we? There we are. Let's go ahead and unpause. So we're week 1, day 1. We do have a colder season incoming. We're at minus 20 degrees right now. What it says is that heat is scarce, right? Dreadnought Wreck needs 20 because that's where some of our people have settled. Right, we will need even more once we build the housing district because that also requires some heating. It does provide shelter, however. Now, if you look at the cold impact on our colony, you see it's extremely increased by heat scarcity and extremely increased by shelter scarcity. I think shelter is by far the most, well, heat and shelter are important. Shelter is even more important, right? If you're not in a house, then, you know, obviously it doesn't even matter if you have heat. Here we go. Let's go ahead and get an extraction district going here. That's 150 workforce, 70 prefabs, 50 scraps. So we definitely need, right, I think to start sort of here, I think. And that's 3 tiles for this district. Alright, let's start building that. So what will I give? I'll give us 60 oil. And we're gonna need technically 40 from, alright, that's what, 40, the demand from a housing district for heat is 40, but we have a modifier of plus 20 from being near a generator already, right? So we don't need as much heat, so we only need 20, so we're gonna need 40. This will provide us with 60 oil, which is great. We do need another shelter, I guess, ideally, or I guess, oh, we need to frost break also. I mean, it would be nice to get some prefabs, yeah, because we will start running out soon. So let's perhaps kind of, I would suggest, yeah, we do something like this. Okay, let's go ahead and cancel just to make sure. Yeah, I think so. Let's ice break along here. We will be able to build another housing district along here, and we get the prefabs up to here, and we're efficient with our frost breaking, using up all the space, I think. Because we will need a, have a look here, we're gonna need to get some prefabs, start extracting some prefabs, because that's what we need mostly to build our buildings. Go ahead and wait for collect some scraps. So scraps is collected from population, and I guess later on there will be ways to improve this. This is kind of the basics tutorial. The start of the chapter 1, which is the next kind of mission, is sort of a continuation of the tutorial. But yeah, but here we are. So cold is notable but growing. We're extremely increased by lack of shelter and heat. We should be able to rectify that soon. Now disease is minor, extremely increased by cold, of course, and increased by hunger. Now, should actually think about Dreadnought's furnace. Yeah, so Dreadnought's furnace is what contains the generator, and we can turn that on in there, and it will say how much we demand, how much fuel we demand, etc. So let's go ahead, go to the Dreadnought. We can pause the game. So total output, it gives us 10 shelter and demands 20 heat itself, because I mean it is a shelter in and of itself. Let's go ahead and turn it on. So 30 oil is converted to 60 heat. Kind of funky UI within this game where it can just go off your screen. So provide basic infrastructure. That was our mission. The furnace is on. We have enough oil to cover current needs. But the cold will still affect our people until they have proper shelter. Housing will best protect us from the cold if built in close proximity to other housing, or the furnace itself. However, we'll need prefabricated parts for construction. We brought some with us. The rest we need to extract from the wagon wreckages. I see. Yep. So let's go ahead and get an extraction district going. Right, we won't use up too much of the space that we've liberated from the frost. Let's go ahead and get started on this. We should also really start on the housing. We never really... Oh, that's slightly concerning. Yeah, it would be nice to have built... Yeah, this was a little bit inefficient. So we do want... I guess we can't really break that way. Okay, we'll try to build our next housing district kind of down to here, I think. But we do need to make our way to food as well, so let's try and be efficient. I think we can fit a second housing district in here. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we can't really skip because later on we are going to need to build more housing, right? So let's go ahead and try to stay efficient and take, frost break all the space. You'll see how basically the more we play, the clearer it will become why it is important to frost break and generally build very as efficiently as we possibly can. Now here we have an event. Oil. As the thick black liquid oozes through the pipes, our people rejoice. The carcass of this old machine is a testament to the hardships that made us, but more importantly, it's our haven in the storm. It has allowed us to weather many whiteouts, and it will do so again. We have oil. We can turn on the furnace. Select the donut rec to access furnace control. Once it's turned on, the Dreadnought's furnace will automatically convert oil to heat. I see. We've already done that. So we're now in surplus heat. It can't be stockpiled, but at the same time, you just don't use the oil or whatever fuel it is you're using to generate heat, so you can stockpile that. I don't think we're doing that in this tutorial, but generally... Well, I guess, yeah, with oil, you can regulate how much you extract. If this was coal or something like that, we would stockpile it. Now, we need another housing district, because we're pretty desperate for shelter. This will demand 20 more heat, as will the next housing district. But our primary concern right now, to be honest, is food. Housing district, yep. So let's go ahead and to build kind of efficiently. Oh, come on. Are we really not going to hit it? Yeah, so you see, so we're touching on one district and touching on the other. Now it would be very nice, yeah, if we could just frost break this thing. Oh, do we spend how much? Yeah, these are quite, I mean, it's only 30 scraps. I think it's worth kind of breaking this, and again I will try to demonstrate why it is efficient to do so once we start, because we'll build probably like a couple more. Yeah, we'll probably build at least one more housing district. And it's only 30 scraps. We should be okay. Go ahead and frost break here. This will be our housing area. I will demonstrate why, because we need to be as efficient with our heating as we possibly can. Here's our housing district. Gives us 15 shelter. I mean, we need 2 housing districts, right? It demands 40 heat, but that's reduced by 20 from being next to this generator. We're going to try to stack these buffs or these sort of benefits by huddling our districts together. Now we're going to frost break towards this food source and immediately try to kind of use up our frost breaking to keep breaking a path towards the next food district as well. So we'll have a little bit of fertile soil here. Yep. Okay, so disease is notable, so we're gonna start, you know, having people get sick, which isn't great. Now we do have an extraction district coming online. Let's go ahead and just get the housing. So you see, so we're building one. We need 6 points, and we're next to the dreadnought on this tile, next to the dreadnought on this tile, next to the dreadnought and another housing district on this tile. But we do fill up the benefit of being we have 3 touch points with the dreadnought. We have 1 touch point with this housing district. We now need another couple of touch points with this district, and that means we now have two effectively benefits, right? One from being near a generator, and only 3 of these have to touch the generator, and we also have 3 from touching this this housing district. Now next time we'll hopefully build 3 next to this housing and then 3 around this one, so that they huddle together. I guess I will explain again when we actually build it. But this means this housing district will not require any heating, because it is already next to the dreadnought, and because it's next to the other housing district. So let's go ahead. This should alleviate our need for housing. And we are going to, and we're not going to need any more oil, which is great, which means we don't need to do anything with this district. We're generating prefabs. Let's have a look at our extraction district. Right, it employs 150 people. It's got 460 prefabs remaining, enough for 23 weeks, and we're getting 20 per week. And it requires 20 materials to be maintained, and 20 heat to operate, or to be heated. Now, we need food now. 200 workforce, 140 prefabs. This kind of doesn't really matter how big it is or where it goes. Let's go ahead and build this. And also immediately start, at no point in delaying, we can start ice breaking towards the next set of resources. Right? So we have the workforce available, we have the scraps, so we might as well go Frostbreak and get ready to build another food district, because we will need a lot of food here to stockpile. We only have 74 weeks left. Now the reason we want shelter and we don't want diseases, because we don't want our workforce to become sick, and therefore unable to let us build buildings or do frost breaks or operate the existing buildings. Now, gain access to food. We have established some heat and shelter for our people. We must now turn our attention to the incoming whiteout. First, we must frostbreak to the small patches of fertile soil suitable for growing food. Then, we must store it in increasingly accessible depots. We must move quickly so no one starves. I see. Now we can pause and just think about this for a second. Build a food district on fertile soil. We're already doing that, right? And this is kind of how the game plays. We have an extraction district getting us prefabs necessary to construct buildings. We have an oil district extracting oil that's used in our dreadnought to power our generator to generate heat. The dreadnought generates heat for all of our districts, housing and extraction district. Each one of these is 20. This housing district, because it's so close to, I guess, other sources of heat, it doesn't even need any heating itself. And this one only needs half because it's next to the dreadnought already. Now, if we do build a third one here, we can actually reduce, I think, this by 20, and have another district that's effectively free and doesn't require any heating. All of these buildings also require workforce, so we have to be careful. Being in a small deficit, I think that's not really greatly increased by shelter scarcity. Well, I guess we need 15. Yeah, and one district provides us with 15, and we need 9. Yeah, I guess we could benefit from one, but I'd rather alleviate the very acute shortage of food rather than small shortage of shelter. We'll be better prepared for when the whiteout hits. Adana Cleon? Wanderer. Okay. Now, can we build another food district? Yes, we can. Let's go ahead and do that. Found a little bit more fertile soil. Now, what are we missing? If we were to build another housing district, we need 60 scraps, 140 prefabs. Yeah, we're gonna be... What we could do is we could go to our Wanderer community. We've been roaming the cold, harsh world for many... Oh, hang on. Prepare for the whiteout. We secured our immediate survival. Now we have to stockpile as much food as we can before the whiteout forces us to take shelter. To do that, we need to produce more food than our demand. We must be ready. Now we're low on scraps, which is not, let's pause. So we need 40,000 food. Let's first of all think about it. We need 40,000 food, and we're not stockpiling food. Why? Because most of it is consumed by our communities, right? By our 3,000 residents. Now we need 61. We have 45 available. We need 20 more. Now, one district produces 45. With the second district on its way, we are going to start stockpiling some food very soon. I would suggest we build a housing district, but we don't have scrap. That means we need to either wait for 3 weeks. We cannot really afford that. We do have we have relations are neutral with our Wanderer community, right? And they say we've been roaming the cold, harsh world for many years. May the black path lead us. May we tread onto the promised land. Now we can interact with them. We can ask them to tighten their belts. Hunger is significantly increased. Food demand per capita is decreased. We might do that when we are, actually gunning for, building up the stockpile. What we can also do is those not working should donate their saved scraps. Get some scraps, or we can return scraps and increase relations. I suggest we take scraps, and we're going to have to do this. This is why I wanted to turn up the difficulty level, because I feel like again, I've played Frostpunk 1. I know nothing about the game. I haven't watched pretty much any videos about it, other than just the announcement. And so this is all entirely new to me, but still, in the officer difficulty level, I was able to keep everyone happy, at least in the first couple of missions, and kind of breeze through them, I would say. So that's why we turn up the difficulty level, so that, we actually have to make some hard decisions. So let's go ahead and take scraps from our community. Relations worsen. It's okay. Trust level, we're still tolerated, so good enough. Good enough for us. And what we need is to keep breaking through to more food. Right, let's go ahead and break to more food here. And we also need another housing district. I will demonstrate again. Again, we're touching the first district through 3 touch points. That means we get -20 from being near this one. But similarly, it means this old housing district now also has another housing district protecting it from the cold, and will also reduce its heat demand by 20. Wait, no, sorry, this is actually not true, is it? Near housing district. Hang on. So this one has 2. So we definitely got this one. We haven't frostbroken this one. Hang on. So it says... Why? So this tile is touching this one and this one. It's touching 2 housing districts, and we have second. Isn't this a 3rd touch point? Shouldn't that... interesting. Not quite what I expected, but I guess we don't really have a choice. We're on a frost break, like, again. If we can help it. So let's go ahead and build that here. Now, interesting. So this one is already 0, yeah. This one is still... Okay, so we didn't get the modifier on this one as I expected, because we only got 1, 2... It's a shame. But I guess we can't help it, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and unpause. Those scraps were mine. Oh, sorry, Killian. They were yours, but now they're ours. We are gonna have enough food very soon. So let's keep waiting for this to frost break. We do need to start stockpiling. We also need some materials to keep our... Okay, 18 registered as sick. Yeah, there you go. Cold. So disease extremely increased by cold. Yeah, that's because we don't have this housing. And on small quantities, or it doesn't really matter. But, you know, it does take away from our workforce. Significantly increase. So hunger and cold, we're gonna solve cold by building another housing district very soon. We're gonna solve... There we go. We're now in surplus food. It's gonna take us 237 weeks to stockpile 40,000 food, which is not really fast enough, which means we need to extract more food. Okay, another 30 scraps is needed. We have materials here, so can we... break through to this oil for extra... We still have an oil here, so for extra heat. What we really do need... Oh, can't quite get there, can we? Fine. Ah, we just need one more, really. Is there no way? No, we can't. Yeah, it's... cannot, unfortunately. Okay, I mean, we will need this oil sooner or later. So... let's go ahead and just... well... yeah, we are going to need this oil, we're going to need this, so let's go ahead and do this, then we'll break through to it's bit, yeah, it will be a little bit of a waste, but it's just how it's going to have to be. That's food. We might not be able to fill food stockpiles without exceptional measures. Consider asking the Wanderers to tighten belts or instill emergency shifts in food districts. Pouring sand in his hands. We've been here so many times. The soil is depleting. A couple more and there will be no point erecting the hothouses. There will be nothing to grow food on. And the yield is so low. Either we pull emergency shifts or tighten our belts. Otherwise, there might not be enough for everyone. Bin and Cal 42 Gardener. Let's see. Let's give it a go. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Okay, we're missing 20 heat. That is because we're not enough to finish district. Oh, really? We can't... okay, this is kind of the things you learn. This is really frustrating. Yeah, this can be frustrating about the game. Because we actually should have done one more piece here, and you can't do just one. So, you know, you have to do this sort of thing. Okay, let's see. Maybe that will help us with some housing in the future. But unfortunately, we're gonna have to waste 30 scraps there for that one tile. Okay, it seems like housing got built. We're actually exactly even in terms of our oil demand and heating demand. Food district. Let him build one. Now we do need extra materials, so I'm going to go ahead and institute emergency shifts. Because we need prefabs now. Because we have access to fertile soil, but we don't have any prefabs to actually build the districts we need. And that is not acceptable. We do have surplus housing, so everyone's nice and warm. Right, cold is minor and diminishing. Disease is notable but diminishing, significantly significantly increased by cold, significantly increased by hunger and squalor. Which we don't have anymore, but we do need materials, so... We are gonna get a temperature drop soon, so we need another extraction district. But for that we need prefabs. We will also need more heating once this food district comes on. Let's go ahead and have a look at this event. Against the elements, squalor. Each day the wind grows fiercer. Relentlessly it beats against our buildings, weakening our structures gust by gust. Without raw materials to repair the damage, our districts will deteriorate. The more we build, the more materials we will need. This is the world we know. Provide more materials to reduce squalor before it harms our people. Relations marginally improve with the Wanderers. We will use them to shore up our districts. We must move quickly or some districts will be disabled. Yeah, okay, let's promise that. Hopefully I will have a bit of time to actually do that. Cognizant of this drop, I need to be really quite careful. Yeah, we do need these prefabs we can get here. Also will grab here, or can we get... Oh, can't actually... Okay, let's frost break to those prefabs. We need... Oh, sorry, material. So these are actually all prefabs, but we don't have materials. Sorry, materials should actually be a separate kind of resource extraction node, but we don't have it on this map. Seems like, so we're gonna have to. I mean, we will need at least one more district anyway, because this one, as you can see, is nearly depleted. 5 per week, okay. Build another extraction district, so you see they can't occupy, obviously, the same tiles. Get some more heat. We are going to get a temperature drop, so all buildings will demand more heat. Therefore, we will need more oil to supply that heat. Let's go ahead and wait for that to happen. We need a food district. Yeah, we need prefabs. So we do need prefabs now. Another prefab district. Getting 25 per week. In terms of food, yeah, we're 2,000. We need 78 weeks at current rate. And we only have 60 weeks, however. We need to start stockpiling a lot faster. That means another food district is in order. But for that, we need 140 prefabs. And every week we delay, right, means we have fewer weeks to actually stockpile. Okay, we're about to run out here completely. A mysterious symbol, the captain's legacy. One of our frost-breaking crew uncovered the frozen remains of a man in a tattered uniform. His shoulder patch reads, New London Scouts, 3rd Platoon, and he bears an obscure insignia. Some of our elders claim it belongs to a military organization, while others argue it has a religious significance. Maybe you have heard of this New London before and can settle their debate? I don't recognize this symbol. New London's history is shrouded in mystery. This will create a continuity in which New London has leaned on either order or faith. Okay, so he's gonna pick one for us. Let's have a thing. New London is a city of devotion that established a new religion and follows the guidance of a zealous clergy. It symbolizes order. New London is a city of discipline that follows strong leadership where militant squads keep the peace. I think it symbolizes order, right? This is the way you survive in conditions like this. Or does it symbolize faith and bring people together? I mean, the only time I beat Frostpunk was with, you know, the religious, the faith. Let's go ahead and... the City of Devotion. Yeah, unity. Unity will be our weapon against adversity. Okay, we need more oil, get the heating going. Squalor is extremely increased by material scarcity. Yeah, that's not great. Yep, got enough oil now to heat our buildings. So we're prepared for the coldest season. Okay, we have prefabs coming in. Can we get anything out of our citizens? Titan belts. They can give us scraps. We don't really need that. We're about to run out completely. Enough materials. Good work. We're now gathering enough materials to maintain our districts. Time to focus on stockpiling food for the whiteout. Relations improve, causing trust to rise. Let's focus on food. Sorry, so this one, 150 materials. Sorry, yeah, these. Sorry, yeah. Okay, this is not very clear, but these are the prefabs. Oh, okay, we are in a little bit of trouble then, aren't we? Because what we really need is this. This is what we. This is what we... Right. Can we not break through that yet? Or have we... No, oh, sorry, we already broken through to the oil, haven't we? I'm kind of trying to think what would be most beneficial. To break from here like so. I don't think so. Let's try this. Yeah, we urgently need more prefabs. Okay, this could have cost us the game actually. Because these are materials and these are... Yeah, these are also materials. Okay, well, we did have to satisfy that demand anyway. Turn off these. We're about to run out. 15 prefabs left, enough for 5 days. Okay, let's go ahead and demolish. Get our workforce back. We don't need the heat anymore. Get some prefabs back as well. We actually have 135, so we could build an extraction district. Yeah, but we need food. Ah, we're missing 5, really? Let's go ahead and speed this up a little bit. 2 registered as sick. Nice. Again. Okay, we should have enough. Oh, well, shouldn't have enough now. At least we had enough to build a new district though. So let's go ahead and speed up. I think we have everything we need to succeed here. Tre Clegon, so others may live. My knees ache and my fingers are so stiff I can't hold the needle anymore. I've lived a full life. It warms my heart to see little Betty and Jacob play by the evening fire. But maybe this is it. I've talked with the other elders. If it comes to it, we will go. I won't let my grandchildren starve. Some people are ready to sacrifice themselves to lower the food required. Wow. Okay, well, we're not really... Well, hang on. Lack of prefabs. No resources for further construction. We don't have enough prefabricated components, making further construction impossible. There may be some prefabs left in one of the construction wagons. If not, we can try to salvage prefabs by demolishing one of the existing districts or hubs. Obtain more prefabs by building an extraction district on a construction wagon or demolishing districts or hubs. I see. Yeah, that was a miscalculation on our part. increase the speed. So there you go. This is now depleted and this district's gone. We've recovered some prefabs, but not enough for a food district, unfortunately. Now we could, while we're waiting, just have a look at this district here. Something like this. What do we have? An event here. Aiden Fincham, 47, elder, shocked at the sight of seals. Seals? I can't believe my eyes. We haven't seen them since before the Great Frost. How did they survive? There's enough meat there to feed everybody. We're saved. But should we slay them if the Lord spared them from the end of the world too? A seal colony can supplement our food production. Yeah, no. We're definitely getting the seals. That is without question. Okay, prefab production is back online. And I know times are dire, so let's get some emergency shifts in there. We have the trust to spare. So, yep, there we go. Let's go ahead and build a food. Oh, we need 200 workforce. And we don't have it. Hang on. Food depots, preserving food for the whiteout. Our stores are almost full of food, but we still need more for the whiteout. We need secure deposits that can house our rations during the months of the whiteout. Build food stockpile hubs to increase the stockpile capacity of food. I see. Hang on. So let's pause. Construct hubs. Food stockpile hub. It takes 100 workforce. Gives us 15,000 stockpile capacity, but it does reduce workforce demand in neighboring food districts. We don't really have any food districts that are minus 10% workforce requirement. Okay. I mean, how much workforce does this thing? So 20 workforce is going to save us. Okay. Yeah, we are almost. Yeah, we're very close to exhausting our workforce now. What we need to do, to be honest, is save enough prefabs for what? For 2 more food districts. Which means we need 200, well, yeah, we need 140 prefabs, and then we exchange maybe one of the districts we have, because we can't just have it kosher, you know, everywhere. We basically need 370. Hang on, so 140 prefabs, come on. Okay, we now have 370 workforce because we're not constructing anything. We're going to use 200 to build another food district as soon as. Okay, we're 20 weeks behind, by the way. No, I'm going to ask everyone to tighten their belts. Oh, eat less food to stockpile more for the whiteout. Yeah, because I feel like we might actually not make it. I feel like that's possible. Okay, that has reduced trust. That's obviously not great, but that's how it is. Let's save 140 and then we remove the prefabs and we build a food district instead. Should have enough heat to last us through, even if we have a small deficit, you know, so be it. Yeah, coldest season, heat demand is increased. Ooh, wow, minus 105. It's a food district on this seal colony. Yeah, we'll do that. I mean, to be honest, yeah, we don't have the work. So if we do, yeah, we can get 50 from this. So we need about 90. Although, what is our stockpile? We're not going to stockpile 25,000, but what we need... Oh no, we need another one of these. So we need 80 plus 140. This will release 150 workforce as well. 150 workforce, so we have 7320 workforce. food stockpile now. Yeah, we'll run out of food in these two very soon. That will release some workforce. Okay, this one doesn't really work because we didn't build it properly. We need... so this one will... Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We'll build another food storage here next to the seals. Once we get this going. Nice. Okay, so we are in the clear. Yep, we are gonna remove some of this. We need 140 to build a district and another 80, so we need 220 prefabs. We're gonna get 50 from this. To be honest, we actually have enough prefabs now. Hang on, let me just pause this and just think this through. We need more oil though, because we're gonna get really cold. So more oil would be really great. However, we could also die. I mean, well, we're already on a good path. Let's actually go ahead and build this. Yeah, we'll finish these two food districts and then we will demolish them. Build another seal district. And build another silo. We have time. Yeah, I do want the oil district to reduce this heat shortage. And keep our population healthy so that we don't lose efficiency. Alright. Okay, these two districts are running out of food. Boom. Okay, yeah, nice. So it's only a small deficit now. We have 20 workforce, but what we need... We need a food. We need 200 workforce here. We're going to kind of... So 200 workforce. Yeah, that's 4. Yeah, it's definitely enough. So let's just try to stockpile as much of this food as we can. Yeah, to be honest, we actually can turn off this first of all. We have 200, which is enough. We can go ahead. I mean, if we remove this, we only get 170 workforce. Because we're going to get the 150 back. So we don't... No point in doing that. We do need, however... Yeah, okay. Let's try and like... Ideally... Oh, hang on. Event. A whiteout draws near, a sacrifice. People in the camp are getting tense. They worry we won't gather enough food in time. Our hunters blame us for ignoring the seal colony and claim they would have been able to provide enough food for everyone. It's too late for that now. Many elders have volunteered to walk into the Frostland rather than be a burden on our resources. Their sacrifice would significantly reduce the rations we need for the whiteout. What should we do? Don't resort to extremes. Everyone keep calm. We will gather enough food in time. I promise you. And what we're going to do, in fact, is we're going to remove this. Because we need the seal colony sooner. Because we need to build the stockpile sooner. And that's completely fine. We will give up a few weeks of production. That is completely fine. Let's go ahead and build that up. We will also build a food district right here. There we go. Yep, we're out. Good, in fact. There we are. Almost full, but that's fine. We timed this perfectly, if I do say so myself. Yep. There we go. 13 weeks and we have enough food. Nothing to worry about. We got plenty of trust. We could even Get some emergency shifts going for extra. Yep, there we are. We got enough housing, enough food, enough materials, enough oil. With just some extra shifts here and there. Okay, can remove this one. We're fine. 14 weeks. Let's go ahead and speed up. Oof, I think we managed to get through this. Here's our city, our little colonists. Okay, this one has run out of food. However, we can't remove it, because if we remove it... Actually, no, we can remove it, because the food stockpile... It can be built anywhere, right? It doesn't have... Yeah, it can be built anywhere. It's just that it gives some bonuses. So we could, in fact, even remove this. Right, why not? We reduce heat demand. Right, which means we could actually remove these emergency shifts as well. Right, everyone stay strong, stay healthy. We're stockpiling food. We're good. We are good. 13 weeks. Yep. Okay, 8. Ooh, hang on. What's going on? 7 weeks? 7 weeks. Okay, let's just be mindful of that. And some emergency shifts here. Not sure what happened. But we were right on point. Oh, is that because... Oh, interesting. It doesn't account for this calculator doesn't account for the fact that... it doesn't really account for the fact that some of these will run out. Right. Okay, we're barely making it, but... Yeah, we should be fine. 4 weeks. Yeah, okay, that is another thing to note. So these timers don't account for the fact that some of these will run out. They just take this production. Right, our production will go down. 3 weeks. Yeah, okay, we should be fine. Okay, here we are. Cutting it a little bit close. Right, I think maybe couple more days. No, we're fine. Food secured. We did it. We secured enough food to survive the incoming whiteout. Our workers will make some last-minute preparations before the storm arrives. We should try and keep our people warm for this time. We will survive. Now we wait. Wait until the whiteout hits. 40,000 food. Nothing to worry about. Okay, I like this difficulty level. I think this actually presents a real challenge. I hope you've enjoyed this. We're gonna cut the episode, guys, I guess, after the outro. Give it a like if you watched all the way. Help spread the series. This is the way we will play, slowly, immersively, make some tough choices, and hopefully succeed. But who knows? We might not. Against all odds, the Wanderers' survival. When the whiteout hit the camp, the Wanderers were ready. Everyone was thankful we acted fast and gathered enough food in time. The miracle of the seal colony strengthened our hope that our journey will lead to a promised land. Our elders have added this story to our greatest tales, alongside warnings about the sinful city that still pumps smoke into the sky. We survived. Survived the end of the world. Now what? old captain is dead. New London is weak. Food is low. Overpopulation looms and coal is running out. People yearn for a future worth dreaming of, but is it the same future for all? Keep the city together. And hold its hand on it, or hold its hand on its deathbed. Chapter 1, Scraping the Barrel. Ooh, I'm looking forward to this, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, I think this is the start of chapter 1. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a like if you have, help spread the series. I hope to see you in the next episode, where we're going to fight for our survival. I like this difficulty level. I think it's going to be close. We'll have to think through every decision carefully, you know, understand all the mechanics, and yeah, get a little bit lucky maybe. But that's it for this episode, guys. Thanks a lot for watching again. I really hope to see you in the next one. I'm excited for this playthrough. Bye for now.